Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. Welcome back for another recap, a trade recap. So in today's session we're going to be looking at a number of trades I took on the ES. 3 trades for 3 wins on the 2-tick Renko. So I'll be explaining in detail where I entered, where I put my stop loss, and where I exited the trade. As always, I do need to pull up there is a risk in trading. Don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. Stay on the simulator until you're consistently profitable. Traders, as I say virtually every day, the markets will be here next week, next month, next year. Before you go live, make sure you master the setups on the simulator first of all. Now, I love Renko and tick charts. However, what I'm showing you here you can apply to any sort of chart, so it doesn't matter. And also it doesn't matter which market you trade, whether it be the CL, ES, gold, stocks, forex. The setups are generic. They appear on every market or in every market on every time frame. So just one thing, what I'm really looking for, I'm looking for patterns in the market. And as Mark Douglas says here in his book, I think it was page 273 or something like that, he said to become an expert, find a pattern, not something that's mathematically based, but a pattern that appears on a regular basis. Because as you probably hear me say regularly in my training videos, that humans, we're very good at recognizing patterns. And so if we see a pattern, we can take action. And so the trades I'll be taking today, I'll explain to you, but they're all pattern based, which means you and I Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. Welcome to this session. Today's session we're going to be looking at a number of live trades I executed on the ES 2-tick Renko chart. Now it doesn't matter which market you trade, whether you trade stocks, forex, futures, gold, oil, it does not matter. The setups are generic and you can apply them to any time frame and any market. As always, I do need to pull up the disclaimer. Of course, there is a risk in trading. Don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. And the great thing is that with virtually every trading platform now, you can trade on the simulator before you go live. The markets will be here next week, next month, next year. Learn how to day trade correctly and scalp the markets the right way the first time, because what happens if you go in recklessly, start placing trades and hoping they're going to work out, etc., you're creating what we call muscle memory. And not only that, you go and blow your account 2 or 3 times, and what that does subconsciously has a massive effect on your trading. So take your time and approach it correctly. Now, as I've probably mentioned, did I say it today? I'm not sure if I've mentioned it, but I prefer to trade using tick charts and Renko. So you'll see me with Renko charts here, but it really doesn't matter what type of chart you're using with your trading. You can apply all of these setups to those. Now, to become an expert, as the late Mark Douglas would say, choose a strategy that is pattern based. Because as humans we are very good at recognizing patterns, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'll explain these patterns as we get to the charts very soon. Well, actually, as I play back the recording. As I mentioned, we're going to be looking at the ES, and what I'm about to say is something that a lot of traders they don't want to hear. And if anything, they go, shoot, what am I going to do about this? Stuff it, I'll risk more money, or I'll take a it doesn't matter if I'm not following my money management rules. That's what I'm trying to get out here. You see, if you're going to trade using an 8-tick ES contract, sorry, if you're going to trade using an 8-tick stop loss, let me get this out right. It means that you've got a $100 stop loss. Now if you're a day trader or a scalper, you should be minimizing your risk on any trade to 2%. Now what that means is you need an account size of a minimum of $5,000. Now I know what some of you are thinking, particularly if you're a new trader. Well, my broker said I only need a day trading margin of $500 or $1,000. That may be correct, but if the risk is $100 and you have a loss, you've just maybe lost 20%, 10 to 20% of your capital. But the beauty is you can now start off by trading the micro contracts, which is $5. So the micros are 10% of the value of a big contract, and I'll show you how quickly you can build your account sensibly with micro contracts. So that is something to remember. Now as a scalper, I also believe in POQ, power quitting: get in, get out, get paid. Now the time frames I'm using here for 2 tick, you can only really trade after hours or on a very quiet New York day. So the higher the time frame, the larger the stop loss. Okay, so we need to keep that in account. So I should say take that in account. All right, so a game changer for 98% of a population. What if you could earn an extra $5,000 a week, $1,000 a day? So you've probably heard me, if you've watched a number of my videos, you've heard me talk about Moneyball. Don't worry about the home runs, just get on base. In other words, as scalpers, we're like a sparrow. We get in there, take a small lot, get out. By scalping the market, taking smaller profits, we have lower risk and we can usually achieve our target a lot faster. I also have respect for those traders that want to go for the larger targets. Some traders are quite happy doing that. For an example, if you can enter a trade just after a market turn, you may be in a new trend. You can go for a much larger target. Okay, and and that may suit your personality. For me, I want to get in, get out, get in, get out. That suits me. So once again, the strategies I teach you can apply to any time frame, and you can go for your runners. I prefer to really get in, get out, as you'll see in a moment. Now what is realistic on the ES? Extremely realistic is, with some training, with patience and discipline, of course, is earning $200 a day per contract, right? And say if you just want to make it really easy, going for $100 a day per contract, and look where you are financially. And that's the whole concept of Moneyball. Watch the movie. It was got Brad Pitt in it from 2011, and it's not about the home runs, it's about getting on base. And really, as you'll see my setups, you'll be able to see you can get in and get out very quickly. Okay, so a little bit about what I'm really looking for and what you should be looking for, particularly if you're a new trader, or especially if you're a new trader. I like to use at least 2 time frames. I actually have a third higher time frame that I'll glance at every 15-20 minutes. I call that the anchor chart 2. So I have an entry chart, my main trading chart, and then I have an anchor chart 1. In today's session, I'm going to be using what we call an overlay chart. Now don't have to worry too much about that if you're a brand new trader, because initially you wouldn't use an overlay chart. But I'm going to do a session in a couple of days on trading with the overlay chart and scalping the market. It's really one of the best kept secrets, truly, in scalping the market using an overlay chart. And actually, if I'm really quick, I'll actually go and show you a couple of quick scalps. Well, the market's closed now, but I'll show you the chart, a true scalping chart. So hang around for that. So what we want to be doing, traders, is looking for retracements and then trend continuation trades in the direction of a higher time frame. Then up here and down here, we're going to be getting what we call T3s, or reversion to the mean setups, or divergence trades. Now the secret in the meantime truly is to be waiting like a sniper. You're waiting for the trade to come to you, and this is one of the fatal mistakes so many traders make. They're out there hunting. We've got to sit back and wait for the ideal trading conditions, and there's a whole lot of ways we can do that, because truly when it comes to trading, 90% of trading truly is head stuff. Only 5% is money management, 5% is the trading strategies you're using. What kills most traders? Lack of discipline, patience. Okay, these are the things, and money management, of course, not following the rules. So as the late Dick Diamond would say, he would say, I wait like a cat in the bushes, just waiting to pounce. Now in this session today, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at I'm going to play back the recording. I'll be giving you live commentary here, and this window here, what this is a number of indicators from a higher time frame, and it's called an overlay chart because you overlay those on your entry chart. So here I can see what's happening on my higher time frame, and where that's really useful is if you're a scalper or you want to get in, get out really quickly. Everything you need, all the information is straight in front of you. So this is a good session. So I had 3 out of 3 here. Now when I trade a 2-tick, my target is $250 a day. I have a target I like to aim for. That works for me. Some traders say, oh, I prefer just to go for 2 hours, whatever I get. Once again, POQ for me: get in, get out, get paid, finish my trading. Now I usually have a fixed target. However, I'll go for a larger target if I've got a price magnet in front of me, and I'll show you what they are in a moment. Now if you're a new trader, by the way, you will have aha moments in some of the things I talk about. You may initially say, I've never heard of that before, or how am I going to learn this? It ain't rocket science, I assure you. But what is really important that you understand the fundamentals: pivots, swing highs and lows, major EMAs, very basic stuff. Once you have explained, you do, aha, now I get it. Now the reason I'm after $250 a day per contract, for a normal trader trading a normal account, you would require $5,000. Excuse me, you'd require $5,000 for that. I trade with a 1% risk, and that means then I need to allow 10,000 per contract. And the reason for that is I like to add to a position, and I can't remember if I add. I don't think I do on this video, but sometimes I'll add to a position. Might be another 5 or 10 contracts. Say if I'm in the green, it's looking good, I will add to that position. Now if you're already at a 2% risk, you don't want to be adding. Okay, when I say that, I know what some traders are thinking. If you are in the green, that is, you're already making money, and you add and you've got a tight stop loss, well then it's really technically you may not even be able to lose money because you're already in the green. Hopefully that makes sense. But overall, traders, it's capital preservation is key. It really is. So this is a really good day. So I'm after 2.5%. Most of you are after a 5%, and as you'll see just how realistic this is with experience. And perhaps I should say my results may not be typical because I've been day trading now for 28 years, but everything I'm about to show you here is a pattern. Now very quickly, if you're a brand new trader, I actually recommend you allow or have a larger account than 5,000 per contract, and here's why. I'm going to be trading today, or the replay of, with only an 8-tick stop loss. There's a strategy that I use, and I'd recommend new traders use, whereby you can have up to a 10-tick stop loss with this time frame. It's just that little bit safer. You can get away with the 8 ticks, by the way, and what that would mean is you'd need around $6,300. Now before you go and say, oh my goodness, I'll never get there, let's get out, let's stop watching this video, hold your horses, because what it means is you can start with a micro contract with only $630, because remember, a micro is 10% of the value of a big contract, and here you go for $32. What it means is potentially in 12 weeks you've now got your, so there's over 7,000 there, you can now roll over and start trading the big contract where you're going to be going for $313 per day, which means 11 weeks, potentially 12,000 a week income. Your account's now $50,000-$60,000. Traders, this is all about risk management and sensible trading. You can learn this. You really, and once again, when I get to this recording and walk you through it, you see it's not rocket science. It's just a matter of patiently waiting. So if you've got that, how do you hit this target? Okay, sounds good. 10 grand a week. I love that, Ray. How do we get there? Because when the Y is big enough, the how will appear. If you want to scalp, truly scalp, you might be going for 4 tick scalps. Okay, that is where 4 net trades. It's after any losses. There you are. So you need 7 trades a day. But if you go for 6 tick moves, which you'll see are everywhere, as you're about to see in a moment, you basically need 5 a day to hit 350 net after commissions. This is the potential. Okay, now with that also, if I got this one here, yes, so we're about to go to recording, but I want to point these out because, and I can't remember this particular video. I'm recording a couple of videos in the one session of sessions I've traded for the last few days, but these are the key points, and we may or may not bounce off these. But where are our pivot levels? Our prior open, high, low and close, major EMAs, intraday swing highs and lows, and the current days. I'll show you those in a moment. Now indicators plot these automatically for us now, so they're very easy to identify and to know where we may be bouncing off those levels. So let me now pull up the recording. So what I've got just here, traders, is I'm going to be sure, well, here I've just shorted, then I decided to start recording. So for the experienced traders here, you can see we've got a little double top. Now going over here, you actually had a potential for members watching this, you can see there you got a T3, you had a little short there, and that was a trade there. Oh, and as you're watching this, I want you to remember the term follow the goal. We want to be following the goal, and we've got our overlay chart, which I won't go into, and there's no need to really go into that whole lot today. But the important things is, where do we enter the trade, where do we place our stop loss, and where do we exit? When I enter a trade here, I'm going to have automatically on my ATM, on my trading dome, I've got an 8 tick stop loss. If I need to make it bigger up to 10, I will, but one thing, you've got to have a maximum stop you're going to be using. Now there's always exceptions to the rule. Yeah, and I've got to say that, traders, because I get traders will send me emails, you said that, but you can do this. Yes, you can move your stop losses and whatever, but what I'm talking about here is being disciplined. Because say if we, like here where I shorted this, and my stop loss is say 1 tick above here, what quite often happens here is traders, the market comes against you, then they keep lifting their stop loss up, hoping the market will reverse, but instead their loss gets bigger and bigger. So a stop is a stop. So just here, traders, I'm in this trade, and so I decided to start recording, and you may notice here I've pulled my stop loss down now. My stop was 8 ticks, it was just above here. So here's my target, and see that down there, it says C low. Remember on that little document, where's your current day's high and low? This is my current day's low. So this is the low over here, and this, by the way, is 2:36 a.m. Now the market reopens at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, so it's basically open 23 hours a day. So of course you don't have to be up at 2:36 a.m. to be trading. That's my afternoon, so it suits me. So just here I've gone the break even. I'm well and truly in the money, but I'm going for a larger target. I think 50, yeah, I think I'm going for 10 ticks in this. Actually I'm going for 12 ticks, okay, in this particular case. So here I'm just waiting 12 ticks is $150 per contract, and the reason I'm going for that is normally I've got a fixed target of 8, but when you've got below you or in front of you a major magnet, professional traders, we buy and sell into these levels. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute because I can't see. Can I toggle along there? No, I can't see the toggle. Let me just top left, let me just move that there so I can toggle along. Okay, let me just move this along a little bit. So haven't explained the entry and why I took it. I've got a nice little double top in the direction of the overall trend. You swim with the flow of the river, and that's what I'm doing. The flow is down. I've got a larger target here. I've moved my stop loss down to lock in more profits just in case it does bounce, but here I know I've got a pretty good probability. Now here I've touched my target, but I haven't been filled yet. Filled means we're out of a trade or covered, or so we haven't hit that yet, and there's a very good chance we could punch through. But this is what I call front running. Front running is where I'll put my target 1 or 2 ticks above or below a major area, knowing that a lot of other traders will be thinking, let's get out before everyone else. Now here it's bouncing, so I can't remember. I might even move my stop down and lock some more profit in just here. So let's see what happens here. Just move this along. Here we go. Probably about, and there we are. I'm now filled and out of that trade. So this is what we call a price magnet. So is this black line. I've never, and I'm sorry, but in this video I'm not going to tell you what it is, but and I've never seen it written up anywhere ever. And it's so logical. It is an EMA from a higher time frame superimposed over, and we bounce off it every day. It's amazing. I'm sorry, but there's some little things I've got to keep up my sleeve for my members, but here it just works absolutely brilliantly if you're wondering what that is. Now I'm about to now take another trade here. So I'm just move this along, just putting a bit of commentary in here. Okay, so long here. Now I've gone long. In fact, this was actually a mistake. I entered a trade here a little too early. Now, as you're about to see, I've left my stop loss where it is at 8 ticks. And quite frankly, I should not have entered this. So you can make mistakes in trading, and they can be forgiven, or you can be forgiven for that as long as you don't do it all the time. And quite often, and see that there, so my stop loss is still, even though I get the pullback here, and this is where I should have been entering, just here. Okay, I should have been entering up here, and then I had a little double bottom, so I entered over here, but I should have waited, and I can't even remember why I jumped in there, but straight away, too early. And that's why when it comes to trading, I'll pause this. You've all heard the F word. The F word when it comes to trading is something called focus. That's the F word. And let me tell you, you've got to be focused when you are trading. All right, so I'm in. My 8 tick stop loss has kept me in. Okay, I've got a nice wide target here. Let me just move this along. Okay, and now I'm starting to creep up here. I'm now going to lift my stop loss. I'm thinking about it because I've got a larger target, and let me explain this just here. I'm looking up there. I've got, oh, it's good I've scrolled down. Up here I've got some pivots. Now yesterday's closed, today's current open over low. Technically they're not what we call floor pivots, but they act like pivots. Okay, they're price magnets. So I'll quite often be, well, not quite often, I'm regularly scrolling my chart down like this, looking for these levels, because we buy into these and sell. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It really is. You know, there are forward what's the best way? They're a predictive indicator, and predictive means you're predicting where price will go. They're self-fulfilling because so many traders will buy and sell into these levels. So let's just watch what happens here. I'm just checking this out. So I'm looking for that. I could see up above, and this is where sometimes I'll increase my target even further. Okay, so just there, I've already got a larger target than my 8 ticks. I've extended that, and I'm looking for this level. Well, there it is there. So that's on the video. I'm looking for that, and just here we're getting another potential entry. This is another classic entry we could be taking at that start. I don't think I add to that position, but now let's just talk about this here. As you can see there, we haven't hit the level. We actually hit plus 9 ticks. Now that's 112.50 per contract, and where my target generally is 8 ticks. So I could have covered there, been out of that trade, banked a really nice sum. That's nearly $1,000. Well, it's $1,000 out. If I got out there with 8 ticks, let me get this right, it's late in the day. If I got out with 8 ticks, that'd be $1,000 less commissions. Okay, but I was going for a larger target, and this gets back to the concept of scalping. Get in, you can get back in again. Get in. We're here. I've basically come right back down again, and I think here I'm probably about to get another setup. So I could have jumped in just here, picked up $1,000 out of that, and come back in, and we'll see what happens. I just can't remember here, but just looking at that, and I've now added to this position. So this is one where I've chosen to add to my position, and the reason being I'm looking for, see this here, I've got a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and see the green dots, green arrows just there. That's my turning point indicator. So that will pick your potential reversals or potential with trend trades. So here I'm targeting up above, and I'll just move this along a little because I want to show you something on the overlay chart, another chart I've got for you in a moment. Okay, so as we're here, so now we've rallied, and look at that there. Let me just go back here a little bit. So just above there, see how we went up there. Where is it? Let me get back. I want to show you that there, and I'm going to, we're about to get there now. I've now gone the break even. I've already been filled. Now watch what happens in a second. I just want you to see right there. So remember over here I was saying we're targeting the pivot, and lo and behold, look what happens. The second lot of contracts, we went up there and we hit the pivot. So this is a great trading session. Now just moving along here, is there anything else here on this one? No, but let me quickly show you on the charts here. Now by the way, this is a 2-tick Renko, which I was just trading. This is a standard chart where it's not an overlay, so it can look a little cleaner. And this is at 17:11 p.m. So that's at 5 p.m. basically 11 past 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We get, and each one of these steps is worth $12.50. Okay, so you can see that to get $250 a day, okay, what we're after is 20 of those a day, and you're netting 20 net, I should say. And there is another classic entry. So can you see how clean these charts can be? Now, well, what about just here? Well, what about it? Well, if I'd have taken a trade there, well, you didn't actually have a trade, because remember I mentioned about the higher time frame. You're always looking at your higher time frame. Your higher time frame would not have confirmed that trade. It would confirm that one, it confirmed this one, it confirmed that. It didn't confirm here, but it would have confirmed that one. Now at this stage you're going to have to take my word for it. Actually, let me pause this. I want to show you. So I've now pulled up what I call the anchor chart one. Wouldn't it be nice to know how do I really double confirm a reversal or a trend continuation. How do I really ensure that it's not like what I've got here? It's called noise on my chart. That is, if I'd have taken that, or what if yes, we could have taken that one, but overall, if we look back here, and the reason we wouldn't have taken that one, the best of the best is when you bounce off the gold, but I won't get into that now. We're up to 30 minutes, but let me show you this. Look on the right there. You had a trade entry there. You see on your anchor chart or higher time frame, remember, follow the gold. When you have a reversal, when do you re-enter? Yes, my trend line tells me when to get in, the trigger line and the trigger line arrows. So I've got trade entries and I've got super scalper, but where it gets tricky is just here. As we come down here, I'm pulling back. Where do I re-enter? See on your anchor chart how you've got all green candles? I'm waiting for my anchor chart one candle to close. Now it's telling me I can now get back in. Down I come, and what about I now get the bounce? What about entering just here? No, because my anchor chart one tells me not to enter. Likewise, when I enter a period of chop. Now I said I was going to show you because we're out of time now, but this is the 6J, the yen. Okay, which the yen this time of day, now that's at 1700 at night. It really doesn't matter, but you've got bids and offers there of 600-700 contracts. The yen is or the 6J is a contract that's put out by the CME. It basically models the forex market, and each little tick is worth $6.25. And using the overlay chart, you can scalp, I call it, have to excuse my crudeness here, scalp the crap out of it with the one tick, which means you've got a very small or low time frame here, and you can get these incredible moves, I should say, trading using a scalping chart. But likewise, you can do the same thing on the ES. You see, this is a one tick chart, and what that means is you can have a lower time frame. All right, but before we finish, I want to say this. I've thrown a lot at you in this session. There are literally dozens of trading setups that you can trade. If you're a new trader, you want to start off by trading 2 or 3 setups alone that are trend following. You want to be trading these sort of setups alone. Do you have a bounce off a trending EMA confirmed by the trigger line, the hooks, or the super scalper? If you don't have those, you don't take them. So eventually you may choose to start, and I don't know if that was a divergence on here, it doesn't show me divergence, but before you start taking reversal trades or reversion of the mean trades, you master trading with the trend. You see, all you need is 3, 6. Actually, let me show you the, I'm sorry, there's so much I always want to share. Let me show you this here. To trade a one tick ES, to scalp the one tick ES, you can only do it during the Globex session. It won't work during the New York hours, and the reason being it moves too quickly. You need a $3,750 account. Okay, and if you go for 3 6-step or 3 6-tick trades a day, okay, so if you net, let's just say 188, I'm just going to round the numbers off and I won't get into the math of it all right now. All I'm after is 3 6-tick trades a day, and this is brilliant for traders that work during the day and get home and want a day trade. Look at this here where you are potentially there in 13 weeks. You've got a potential income there of 12,000 a week and account size of 54,000. Now before you go, oh, not possible, for a start, the compound table there, you only start trading an additional contract once you double your money. You never increase and start trading at 2 until you double your money. Remember the 2% rule. We never ever break that. We only lower it as we build our account. And the great thing is you can start off with a micro account with only $400, go for say $19 a day. In the same number of weeks, you've then got the money to roll over and trade the big contract. Now, just here traders, you get these 6 tick moves all the time. Now yes, you're going to have some losses. Now where would you enter here? See your trigger line, it doesn't tell you to jump in until there is 6 ticks. Here is 6 ticks. You're in this one, your stop loss is up there. Here is 6 ticks. Okay, now I know what some of you are thinking. Oh yeah, you're just cherry picking. I'm just going one trade after another here. Follow the gold, following the arrows. Right, the big thing here is that you've got to be focused. Now that's over, by the way, just see, that's over 4 minutes. You've got plenty of time. However, the one tick on this market will only work 50% of the time after hours. Quite often it is too fast. For an example, we've seen President Trump talking about the tariffs, incredible volatility, so therefore that wasn't tradable. However, if you switched over to the yen, the 6J, that's been very tradable a lot of the time. So horses for courses. But traders, we are up to nearly 40 minutes. So if you click on the links below, you can download my spreadsheets. By the way, there's a number of goodies below, but why don't you consider coming and join me? Let me teach you how to scalp and day trade the markets. I can save you probably a small fortune along the way, plus a lot of time. So traders, hope to see you in one of my coaching. And if I didn't mention, I also run a live trading room and I run a coaching room. They work hand in hand. 2 evenings a week, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm every Tuesday and Wednesday Eastern Standard Time. I run a 2-hour class teaching traders my setups, the psychology of trading, money management. Then 3 days a week for 2 hours, evenings. One's in the evening, one's early morning. We do 3 days 3 days 1 week in the morning, 3 days 1 week in the evening. We were actually on the markets trading, so I'm explaining and teaching you how to day trade as the trade set up live. We do a similar thing in the coaching, but we do a lot of other things in the coaching session. So anyway, information down below. Hope you enjoyed this. Once again, if you're a brand new trader, it's not rocket science. Just give yourself some time to pick this up. Thanks, trader. See you on my next video.